by recognizing His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, represented by the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Stombeko Musokotwan, who is also a member of Parliament. I also recognize the President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adesina, and I recognize several honor ministers who are in this audience, and they are also members of the diplomatic corps and members of international organizations who are working in the Federal Republic of Zambia. And we also have Dr. Sidi Oditam, the Director General of Badia, Professor Jeffrey Sachs, economist and director at the Center for Sustainable Development of Columbia University in the United States of America. And we also have executive directors of the African Development Group, and also have the senior management team and staff of the African Development Bank, and as well as African Union Commission. And of course, we have the other participants, panelists, or just people wanting to contribute by observing what is going on. And we have the people who ensure that whatever we do goes down to the public, and these are the members of the press. And of course, the last but not the least salutation is ladies and gentlemen. My role is to welcome each and every one of you to the headquarters of the African Union. And for all those from Africa, this is your headquarters. It's not just for the heads of state and government and the staff working in the commission, it's all the ordinary Africans. And in so doing, the first point I would like to make is that this event is possible because a lot of effort was made to bring it to where it is. It was not easy. The first step was to produce the document that we are presenting. And the second step was to make logistical arrangements for this meeting today. So I know that my brother, Professor Orama, and his team worked tirelessly, and they slept very little hours. And I also slept very little hours this morning because the Executive Council ended quite late. Now, the effort that is being made to come up with this publication has both positive and negative responses. I'll begin with the negative. I know that within the African Development Bank, I know that within Africa, there are some elements we are going to say is wasted effort. Why come up with another document when there are several other publications of a similar nature in other multilateral financial institutions across the world? And my advice is that we should ignore those critics, people with that view, with the contempt they deserve. And that brings me to the positive side. The general refrain is that knowledge is power. Africa's macroeconomic performance and outlook report, which is going to be produced biannually, is going to develop a board of knowledge. A lot of effort is going to be made to have very, very deep insight on what is going on in Africa in the macroeconomic sphere. So it's a process of self-empowerment. where we're able to identify challenges and opportunities, and then commit to exploiting those opportunities for the good of our continent. And a lot of people are going to benefit from this report series, starting with the executive directors of the African Development Bank Group, the staff within the African Development, the general public, heads of state and government, ministers of finance and national planning. If all of them take the time to read this document, study it, review it, and generate insights from what they've read, they'll be better placed to make policy decisions. And Africans, ordinary Africans, will be better placed to understand what is going on around the continent and the efforts of the African Development Bank Group to bring us to where it is. I'm not going to go into the contents of the document. All I can say is that it's very, very important that you give it the visibility that it deserves. The meeting here this morning is part of that process. And as African Union Commission, we are ready at all times to contribute in giving visibility to this document. During the course of the year, we have got the Media Coordination Summit. A presentation can be made during that time if the second edition is ready. And like I indicated to my brother, Professor Orama, when the president of the African Development Bank Group addresses the assembly tomorrow, he shall come with the adequate copies of the publication. It would be desirable if you put it on the tables of the heads of state and government so that they can go and make use of that document. And to those colleagues who are in this meeting and in the virtual sphere, the soft copy is available on the website of the African Development Bank, so make use of it. So once again, each and every one of you, you are most welcome to the African Union headquarters. And I know that we are also punishing our colleagues who are on the western side of the globe, because it's just about 9 hours here, so it must be very early in the morning on the other side. But your presence reflects the commitment to contribute to what we are doing this afternoon, this morning. So I'll end here and reaffirm my warm welcome to each and every one of you. The chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Musa Faki Mahamat, should have been here. Like I indicated, this is a very, very busy period, so many engagements, and for me, today, I've got 2 events, and some of them, my colleagues are there, they have to decide how I'm going to handle them, because they begin at the same time. Maybe they'll cut me in half. Thank you very much.